Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news and a brand new Sony slash PlayStation update that is actually going to be probably one of the bigger changes we could actually see in the PlayStation ecosystem. Now, as you guys do or do not know, PlayStation has, well, a lot of other big businesses and companies out there, such as like doing the Sony music, cameras, TV, all that type of good stuff. And while there's also some very, very popular animation things as well that they own. Now, one big thing to know is that the PlayStation itself is a kind of more pushing for the idea of being a built-in ecosystem, kind of similar to Apple as well, where they want to go have things like VR. They want to have things like portable stuff, like the PlayStation Portable. They want to have their consoles. They want to go and have other various things all integrated into the PlayStation ecosystem so they can keep on making money and doing well in the future. But one thing to note is there's actually a brand new service and brand new update coming to the console themselves, and this is actually could be a huge, massive game changer for the PlayStation in general. So throughout this one, make sure you guys are subscribing, notifications on, giving your thoughts and comments. As we keep on mentioning, we do have the Meta Quest 3 pre-order or Best Buy. If you guys are interested, check on the links down below, the how links in the description and comment section, and of course follow the Twitter and Twitch if you guys want to, and of course give me your thoughts and comments down below. So first and foremost, this is some kind of cool news. Now, like I kind of said, like PlayStation's more so trying to go build up an ecosystem rather than just, hey, you want to have a Nintendo, or it does kind of feel like Nintendo, they have their online and they have their games, and that's about it. They've tried to dabble in movies like we've seen throughout the years. They have cool things like amusement parks, but at least when it comes to like the integrationness to the Switch, they don't usually expand too much. I mean, they do other things like AR, Xbox has things like Game Pass, so it's kind of like a nice little subtle thing for these consoles to have. But Sony obviously has a little bit more of a slightly different usage. Like for Xbox, they have Game Pass, so for PlayStation, what do they have? They have things like Funimation, Crunchyroll, and also all their other various movies, and right now, Sony's high bitrate movie service is now going to be available on the PlayStation 5 and PS4. Now, this may not seem like the biggest thing off the, title, but after this, let me go and kind of explain. Let me cook. So previously known as the Bravia Core, which is a horrible name, and limited to the company's TVs, Sony Pictures Core is expanding to both consoles with exclusive perks. So basically, it's like really cool TV technology that has now been being pushed to the PlayStation with really big perks with the Sony ecosystem. So Sony is bringing its own movie streaming service to PlayStation consoles beginning as of today. Previously known as the Bravia Core, the service is being rebranded to, which I would think is actually a smarter branding move, Sony Pictures Core, as it arrives on the PS5 and PS4. Once you sign up for Sony Pictures Core, you'll be able to buy or rent up to 2,000 movies straight from your console. Sony's Evan Stern wrote in a blog post. At launch, this will include blockbuster hits such as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man No Way Home, Uncharted, The Equalizer, No Hard Feelings, Bullet Train, and The Ghostbusters Afterlife, among others too as well. Now, you can rent or buy those movies in any number of places. If you're wondering why you'd want to use Sony's services, the answer is video fidelity. So I'm going to talk about this a bit more, but as noted in the Bravia Core's website, it includes what the company calls pure streaming, so kind of like technically technology, which you can stream HDR movies at up to 80 megabits per second, similar to 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, on a wide range of content. Number one, first big kind of update for this one is that this is a significantly higher bitrate than anything Netflix, Amazon, Prime Video, Max, Vudu, or other streaming sites will give you. So if you're a stickler for picture quality of the right TV for it, you should notice a greater detail when using Pure Stream. And then in addition to all that, Sony also claims it has the largest collection of IMAX enhanced films of any streaming service. So you guys can probably have a little bit of a breakdown from this. Is that Sony has the rights, licenses, and all of this for a lot of different movies, like even off the loan, just the Spider-Man movies, etc. And of course, as well, if you're Sony, what do you want people utilizing? You want people buying Sony TVs because, duh, like you're going to have the TVs. You're going to want them to be downloading or having these subscription services on your PlayStation. Duh, because, well, you like if you have the ecosystem, why not? It's like you want someone that likes film to go and use Sony cameras. They want to make movies, they want to use Sony cameras. They want to have soundtracks for their movies, use Sony music. You want to go watch the movies, use the TV. You want to go and have it streamed from your console or device using your PlayStation 5. Well, you plug in your PlayStation 5 into your Sony TV that's been recorded on your Sony camera while utilizing Sony music to go let you go play Sony movies. like, you guys could probably see what this entertainment expansion is kind of going into, let alone other things like HBO, where if you have a chance to utilize that or work in deals with HBO, it drives up the wins. Or on top of this, too, it's always kind of surprising that they even use things like Netflix or HBO when they only have Sony Pictures. I'm very surprised they don't use that, but sometimes different teams will be more specialized in episodic shows versus like movies. I'm sure it's also fine. It makes sense. But either way, like, this is a big deal, mainly because this is Sony trying to push their big ecosystem onto the PlayStation and utilizing that, but as well as also nicer, higher quality for those people who are extremists. But as well, this is kind of just like a nice, good long-term potential to have more people and more reason for Sony to use this. So this is going to be a big thing too. And it's going to be like the part 2 of might be kind of nice, because I know some folks like myself are homebodies. Another potential reason to try Sony Pictures Core is early access. Sony says you'll be able to purchase a select Sony Picture films during an exclusive early access window before those films reach other digital retailers. So that's a big thing to know. So that's like, say, like you want to go and see Spider-Man really bad. So what do? On Spider-Man, you go and maybe release it maybe like a week after box offices to get like the initial box office hype, and you can start charging them $15, $20 to just go and stream at home. Now, they may not be the best thing. I'd obviously prefer like a cheaper price, or if I'm going to spend the $15 to go to a movie, I kind of want to do it in a movie theater, get the full experience, you know, like I want the surround sound, I want to have like the vibe, I want to make a night of it. Like, I'm sure it kind of depends. Like, sometimes I want to watch a movie at home, sometimes I want to go and vibe, I want to go out, I want to chill, I want to experience myself. But either way, the idea of having more expansiveness to this, to have more movies and more integration with the PlayStation audience, is very cool. So they go and say this before you can basically have a chance to get these before they reach other digital retailers. This will vary based on what market you're in. For example, they want to go push out the Gran Turismo based on a true story, is in the first early access title in the UK, France, Germany, and Japan, even though it's already technically available for rental and purchase in the United States. But like, don't forget, Sony does make a lot of movies or has integrations with them too as well. And of course, Sony is going to give PlayStation Plus premium and deluxe members a huge serving of free content to help them getting started and become familiar with their service. Now, I want to maybe talk about this in a separate video too. You guys can probably allude it if you guys have a brain or just want to think about it. This also kind of expands them out to like making it's like building the ecosystem more. And like, the better, more incentivization you have for the PlayStation Plus platforms, the better, I would say. So they say for this one, you'll get access to curated catalog of up to 100 movies through the Sony Pictures Core app to stream on demand from the Sony Pictures library as part of your membership. The catalog will be ad-free and updated periodically, featuring movies such as Looper, Kingslave Final Fantasy 15, Elysium, and Resident Evil Damnation. Again, in the fine print, Sony says their selection will change over time and depends on what region you're in, but free is free. They're not exactly the biggest hits, but who doesn't want to watch the occasional Looper rewatch? So either way, they're just trying to go and incentivize up this PlayStation as well. So this may not be like the biggest news off of like first glance, like looking in the mirror and be like, oh, whatever, cool movies. But you got to see how they're trying to expand it out. Or they're going to, number one, have it so you can maybe watch some of these movies quicker, have like a little bit of an exclusive access on PlayStation, having a chance to have more of additional service on PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Premium. That's also another good perk. Like, imagine like in the future, you maybe get to watch Spider-Man for free with your PlayStation Plus subscription. That seems kind of cool. Like, I'm okay with that. And now, I may not be movies I'd always watch or want to utilize or even maybe pay extra money for, but any type of thing that gives you a slightly better value, in my mind, I think is always a good thing at the end of the day. And obviously, it kind of depends if they're going to try to be rotating out these services and getting different features. I think it's nice. Sony says the Bravia Core is keeping its old name on other platforms for now, so it still technically exists, but for PlayStation, it makes sense to push it as the Sony thing, and will undergo their rebranding next year. But for PlayStation owners, the new version is available today in 23 markets, and you can find it in the PS5's media section or the PS Store if you get a PS4. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this because I do think this is big. Like, I do think the fact that they're finally utilizing their Sony catalog, once again, like, imagine how cool it would be if they had like a Spotify type thing service for their music, for Sony Music, and you listen to any song they have on their catalogs with their PlayStation Plus subscription. Would be really nice, really cool. Or something too as well, they're doing this with movies. Like the fact that they're expanding out this catalog and making the PlayStation Plus more worthwhile. Once again, I think this is really cool. I really do enjoy this, and this is kind of just adding more value to any of you guys that are watching. Now, not everyone may like it. Not everyone may utilize it, but at the same time, if it's included and it doesn't change the cost, which they did already improve the cost anyway, which is always bad, well, might as well, might as well. What's the point of not? So I want to hear your thoughts all around because I think this is good. I think this is a win. I think this change up is kind of somewhat big and maybe even something Xbox and Nintendo may want to try to integrate more in the future, but they don't really have that hold on the entertainment industry that Sony does in comparison. Like, I mean, Microsoft has the PC one, which is probably more valuable, PC hosting, server hosting, Windows Store, all of that, Game Pass. which might arguably be a little bit more of like a, well, good, but at the same time, PlayStation does have merits that other companies like such as Nintendo don't really have. So give me your thoughts and comments. Definitely check out the Best Buy links down below for the MetaQuest pre-orders. Link down with all the other little bonuses. We have the Twitter and Twitch too as well, in case you guys want to follow. And of course, we'll all be live up on Twitch soon. And subscribe if you guys are new. Give me your thoughts and comments down below.